Hey everyone, it's Kristen with Gunderson's Bookkeeping. This is a series of QuickBooks Online trainings help. This is video number 4, focusing on how to set up your chart of accounts so that it looks the way that you want it to look, that will benefit you as a manager, owner of your business, or also having it set up for tax purposes for your CPA. So we're going to start off with the chart of accounts. Think of it as a filing system. It will show you what's on the balance sheet, which includes your assets, your liabilities, and your equity. Also show you what's on your profit and loss, your income, cost of goods sold, and your expenses. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to switch it over to my sample company that I have set up. And how you get there is you go to the gear sign up here, and over here underneath your company, there's chart of accounts. And then you'll see that everything is in order based off of how it shows up on your balance sheet with your bank information, your assets, fixed assets. Then it goes down to your liabilities, your equity, and then it jumps to your profit and loss, your income, cost of goods sold, and expenses. And it's over here in alphabetical order. So how do we set up a new expense? Well, actually, everything that's set up here is kind of default. This is a sample of a like a lawn care business. So, you know, we're just going to go with, we have a lawn care business. So we already have set up some landscaping services for income. We have labor, and we have expenses. But say we want to, let's look at the cost of goods sold. There's only one cost of goods sold. We want to really start narrowing down our cost of goods sold. So we want to add some more cost of goods sold categories. So let's go up here to the very top. There's a green button, and we're going to go new, and then it will bring this up. Up here is the account type. So we get to pick, you know, if it's a banking, credit card, short-term, long-term. And if you don't know what you're looking for, once you pick it, it will literally tell you kind of what this information is. So cost of goods sold, and we want to add. We do want to add labor for cost of goods sold. And whatever it's named right here, this is how it's going to show up on the profit and loss. So if you don't like cost of labor -COS, we can change it right here. And you know what? We can break it down between employees and I'm going to create a new one. So just save a new. And I'm going to create another one for subcontractors, because I know that like lawn care people, they might have an employee or two, but they also hire subcontractors. So we're going to do another cost of goods sold. Where is it? Cost of goods sold. We're going to keep the labor one right here. We're going to name it or we can name it contract labor, and then save and close. So now when we look here on the chart of accounts, you'll see here cost of goods sold. We have cost of labor, employees, and cost of goods sold, and contract labor. These are the two that we added. Say you don't like how this is, like cost of labor, employees. Maybe you want to say something different. It's very easy to fix. We can go over here to the down button and go edit. And so we want to change it to, we want to go CO cost of labor -employees, and oh, you're very particular and there's not a space right there, so I'm going to go ahead and add that space, and then we can save and close. So now when we look right here, it changed it to COL-employees. Okay, so now you see how like there's job materials right here, and say you do decks and patios, fountains, plants and sprinklers. Say you want to add in swimming pools and you want to make it a subcategory of this. And what I mean by that is, let me go ahead and show you what I mean, because this is how it shows up on the profit and loss. So I'm going to go to reports. And in the standard reports, profit and loss is right here. And you see how there's these subcategories and job materials? So this is for your reference here. Your CPA for tax purposes will probably round this up, and he doesn't need to know the breakdown of job materials, but you do want to know the breakdown. So we can expand it for us, and same thing with labor. So this is what a subcategory does. So I'm going to go back here to the chart of accounts because we want to start doing swimming pools. So I'm going to go up here to the top and do new, and it's an expense. And we get to pick from and sometimes there's not a good fit. We're just going to name it like other business expense, okay? And we're going to name this pool supplies, but we want it to show up underneath that job materials. And here it is, job materials. So save and close. And actually, I do need it to be sub-account of job materials. Cancel. So let's find out what job materials is. That's income. We don't want it to be income. We want an expense. Job materials, supplies and materials. Okay. So our sub-account needs to be supplies and materials. Expense. Supplies and materials. There we go. It's the same subcategory. Pool supplies. It's a subcategory, and job materials. Save and close. So now when we go down to that job materials, there's pool supplies. Okay, so I had another example of someone came in, I had a client come in for training, and she's like, it's just driving me nuts. Like, there's something misspelled on my profit and loss. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, what is it? And I don't see anything like misspelled here. But say under utilities, and how it says telephone, we want it to say cell phone because we don't have a telephone line. We just have a cell phone line. So she really wanted to change that or correct the spelling. So we're going to go here to the edit, and we're going to change this to cell phone. Save and close. Perfect. So now it says cell phone. There's one other thing that I want to show you. Okay, so say we're working on the run and we don't realize that there's an equipment rental already right here. So we're going to create another one because we just forgot that it's there, okay? This does happen all the time where we create duplicate entries. So and we're going to do equipment rentals with an S. Save and close. So now we're going to have expenses going into both equipment rental and equipment rentals. But we know that they're the same item, okay? And for fun, and we know that we want to merge these two, okay? So what we do is we have to have the exact spelling of the one that we want, and we want to keep this equipment rental right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into equipment rentals and do the edit button, and we're going to get rid of the S. A lot of times we can do copy and paste, and then we're going to do save and close. Now it's going to show up, this says the name is already being used. Would you like to merge the two? You really have to know for sure that you're going to merge it, because once you merge it, everything in both equipment rental and equipment rentals is going to go into equipment rental. If you want to separate, right now is the time to double check yourself to make sure that you really want to do that. If you know that it's truly a mistake and you want to merge them, click yes. However, if you aren't sure, and say you had equipment rentals and rental or rent, and you thought that they were the same, but they weren't, and you merged all of your rent expense into your equipment rental, there's no easy way to undo that. You are going to have to go literally into all of your rental expense for, say, rent in the office, and separate them out into an office rental space again. So it's kind of time consuming. So just make sure that you're doing the correct thing here. So we'll click yes. And now if we go back down here to equipment rental, there's only one of them. And if we had items in both, they would all just show up underneath this one item again. So when doing your chart of accounts, you just really want to make sure that you are doing it for yourself to be able to make good business decisions, but you also want to have it done properly for your CPA to do your taxes. For instance, I have another client who owns a daycare, okay? And they buy toys for each of the rooms. So they have the blue room, which is, say, babies aged to 1. And then they have a room, the yellow room, which is age 1 to 2. And then they have the 2-year-old room, which is red. So they want to know what they are buying for each of the rooms to know. And it's good to know this for, say the 4-year-olds are breaking all of the toys, and they keep on having to buy more toys, but they're not sure which toys they're having to replace for which room. So we can have it separate out, like by color of room, first, 1-year-olds to 5-year-olds, and for that they can know, oh my gosh, it's the 4-year-olds who are destroying all of the toys. Maybe we need to start going up on the cost of the 4-year-olds, because it's costing us so much to replace the toys in that room. Your CPA accountant doesn't need to know, toy replacement costs by age group like you do. They just need to know toy replacement costs for their tax return. He doesn't need it broken down by age group. So this is kind of the same thing, kind of like job materials. The CPA just needs to know the total cost of job materials, whereas you might want to have it broken down to make sure that you are charging the right amount for what you're doing. So if you're doing, gardening stuff, or if you're just planting soils, or if you're entering in sprinklers, you need to know the difference, but your CPA doesn't. And this is a great way, by using the sub accounts, that we can have it, purpose for the CPA to be able to do your taxes, but also informational for you to know where exactly you're spending your money, so that you can make better job pricing, better decisions as management. So I hope this was helpful. If this was helpful, go ahead and share this with people, and stay tuned for the next one. Let me see what I'm going to be doing next. I think it's sales tax. All right, so I'm going to be doing sales tax next, and thank you for watching.